There
Yeah,
are
yeah.
several people joining.
I just okay. Record started. Okay, now both
Yeah, yes,
audios.
that's good. Yeah. So we can
So
now
let
start.
me share my screen. Okay. Why so many is coming? Okay. Okay. So thank you very much for joining this session. Can I start, Sajan bhai?
Yeah, I think we should start.
Yeah.
It's almost 10 minutes. We are like,
So is it? Are you able to see my screen?
yeah, we are good.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. So thank you very much for the joining the meeting. And there may be 1 hour. I'll try right now. What is the time? 1 hour to 90 minutes. Okay, I'll try to close this one. So right now 12:10 is there, right? 1:10 or 1:30. I'll try to close this session. And I prepared some slides. Okay, and there is also some as a technical level also I have something. So these are the things I am going to cover one by one. So first is a as an introduction, second is the scope, third is the session objective, okay, and these are the items are there. And I'll go one by one. This is my PPT as a summary level, as a frequently used algorithm, and then the data science, data deep learning, machine learning, and AI, how they are related, okay, and the job scope and these skill. And there are some difference I put, okay, because to start your end some with the basic data, how uh, you can develop a model, okay. So that I'll show step by step. This is the main purpose of this one. So let me start with this introduction. So myself, Abdul Ghafoor, either I don't know whether people are aware or not. So I have a 15 years experience, and last 7 years I'm working various project on data engineering, data as a machine learning or AI, DevOps, okay, as an end-to-end data pipeline, as a productionized industrialization that I'm working. Currently, I'm working Accenture as a data and AI strategy manager. I have scheduled this meeting because as per my understanding in market, okay, people want to switch from their legacy or existing technology to data engineering, data science. So data science one of the area actually where a lot of jobs are available. It is what still it is available, and next 5 or 10 years, this data science and a lot of jobs going to create this market. So people can any experience level they can switch, okay, but they need some basic. They need to know this data science knowledge, right, as a theoretical as well as the practical knowledge, project knowledge. So objective is that I'll not give as a every line as a training. I'll give some outline how a data science, okay, what is the data science, and for end to end a model develop, what are the things are required, and I'll go on use cases. What are the frequently algorithms in market? 70% algorithms are used in the market, 60% 70%, and especially most the product-based companies like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, Google, they are using also most of the algorithm. So that core algorithm you should know later, okay, and end to end from as a starting data preparation to model, final model creation, model evaluation. So later you can explore this one for your career, okay? And this is the precise in market. You can get a lot of data science, a lot of data material. So, but this one is the precise, and if you want to learn very quickly data science and want to jump this one, so I believe this is my understanding. This is the best one. Actually, I purchased whatever the material I am going to show you. This I purchased from Coursera or Udemy long time back, and that I'll also share to you in my Google Drive. It is available. Those who are interested, and it has a lot of documents are there. Okay, so this document will help data science, okay, programming, basic programming, and the data pipeline, special machine learning development. And later, maybe in this group, if I'll show you how to set up this one and how to run this one and what are the basic steps are there and how we develop this one. And after that, if you face any issue in the group, you can post this one. Because I cannot reply anyone, right? So maybe okay, out of 10 people, if anybody is success to set up this one, just help each other, okay, to set up this one, to run this one. If you're facing any difficulties, if anybody not able to do, you can reach out. Okay. So that is okay. The objective. So data science overview, environment setup. I'll do frequently use ML algorithm. I'll just explain. Okay, what is the frequent, step by step use cases implementation. So I'll prefer one logistic regression and natural language processes. You nowadays you can heard a lot of text data is processing right in market, right? So how a text data processing happening? Because if you know one NLP algorithm implementation, you can process any number of processing NLP related algorithm. But you need to know what is happening step by step, that one. And job preparation I can give, and if you have any question, you can at the end of the session you can ask. But in the meantime, so guys, do you have any expectation? Okay. Because I did not start any introduction due to delay. Do you have any expectation after closing this session? What is your expectation? Just I want to know. And I also come to know a lot of people. Okay, they are Java background. Few people are Python background. Okay, so I'll try to match this one. So this Java knowledge or Python knowledge, how we can help through the group. Okay, later it can help to quickly switch this data science related any project in your current organization and different company. Okay. But guys, I can say that this is the optimized document. Okay, you can see so many things in data science. This is the optimized document. If you explore this one, you can understand. Okay, and you can explore later. But this is the optimized document which will help to move data science. Okay. So any question?
Assalamualaikum. Jazakallah khair. This mashallah looks very good. My objective or motive to join this session was because I was looking to join one of the on the job master program for AI or data science, but I'm not able to decide which one should I take, like data engineering, data science, AI. So my objective is to get a feel of what is data science and artificial intelligence. Should I go towards the more machine learning, or should I go towards more on the data engineering side? So this session will help me to decide that. So if you can cover what is the difference between AI, data science, and data engineering.
Okay, got it. Okay. Any other one? Do you have any questions?
No, I'm mostly from Java background, but I'm just giving my introduction. I'm mostly worked on Java background. Right now 12 years of experience in Cognizant. But right now I've started for the past 1 year. I've started working mostly on the Azure side, data engineering, end-to-end services.
Okay.
But not ML. ML is there, but I don't.
Okay.
So this is Shoaib.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes,
have a
Shazam.
document. I'll share
Yeah,
this one.
just speak out that who is this is Shoaib, and then you just so that we'll understand. People understand. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I thought my name is coming. Yeah, my name is.
I know I'm taking the voice.
And another thing, okay, when you are doing, okay, you don't think as the data science is a rocket science. Okay, you need to do a lot of things. You need to statistics, computer. Okay. It is totally your overall experience. It is your business knowledge, it is domain knowledge, your practical knowledge, your whatever you learn throughout your career. Okay, mathematics, physics. There are some of the things statistics which are not as a whole statistics, right? There are some techniques, and only you can learn once you are in a project. Even those who are a data science, they know few statistics methods. They don't know everything. Even those who are data scientists, even I am under me some data scientists also there. So they are working data engineering or data scientists, but they are not expertise all algorithms. Okay? So and another thing is in my practical experience, there are so many data science senior manager or some level, but they are the some MBA background, economic background, commerce background. So at least if people have the engineering background, right? And so don't think as a data scientist is very impossible. You cannot do it. It's not a matter. You can learn anytime. Just spend, okay. Just starting point, okay. Where it need to be done, that guide will help you because there I told right. There are so many things that will divert this one. You just what are the hard portion, okay. If you know this one, later thing you can explore based on the project. But you can learn, okay. This is and you can learn, and for long term, this data science or machine learning or deep learning or AI or data, this is the common word, okay. It will happen because IoT is coming into picture.
Correct. 5 years back it was buzzword, but now it's coming to mainstream.
Okay.
Most of the projects are implementing data.
Yeah. So last 5 years they collect the data, various organization, and now they are trying to do this machine learning model again, but they are initially they have some perception. Okay, if any PhD guys, if has a algorithm implementation, they can do better. But after that, so many failures happen. 70% or 80% machine learning algorithm not working because due to huge data. So they are not able. So now they are saying, okay, to become a data scientist or data science, okay, you don't need to do as a PhD holder, you need to do mathematics, statistics. Okay, even anybody can do it, but he need to know that basic techniques. If you don't know certain things, he can learn quickly from Udemy or Coursera or YouTube, and he can implement it, okay, based on the experience. So that way, okay, mind there should be mindset. You can do. Anyone can go on data science area, not a problem. So later, okay. So from where I'll start this one. So so if you see this diagram, right? So here you can see in the market you may be confused data science, machine learning, deep learning, or artificial intelligence. So here through a diagram I tried it. Data science is this is a branch of science. Okay, there are data related. If you want to identify, if you want to see planning to meaningful information, if you want to get data insight. So that time there are so many techniques, so many tools, so many formulas is available. So this mathematics, when you are in mathematics or statistics or visualization or enterprise data analytics, so that time this will come into picture of the data science. That the machine learning is there. Machine learning means okay, machine will learn from data. Okay, so there are some algorithm, frequently used algorithm is there. So which has been developed based on the certain behavior. In the past, it has been developed certain pattern. So using this pattern, okay, we are creating a formula and we are trying to predict the future. Deep learning is that where data will be huge volume of data, okay, and there are you need to have a more accuracy level. So that time you have to use this deep learning model. So to do a deep learning model, you have to first the machine learning model because there are certain steps. Till this step, you have to learn machine learning model. After that, you can learn deep learning model. This is not that you will start with the deep learning model. So your basic is the machine learning model. And data science, again, I told, right, there are the statistics, some of the techniques are there, mean, mode, median, standard deviation. There are few, so many techniques are there. So that technique will be used, okay, to formulate, to create a machine learning model. Okay, so that time your data science knowledge into come into picture. So that time statistics, your mathematics, your domain knowledge, your computer, this thing. But to create a model, okay, you have to use this technique, mathematics or statistical visualization. And to for a deep learning, okay, you have to there's a training and test model is there, right? So when you have a large volume of data and you need as a accuracy, suppose you are trying to create a robot, okay, and you want to do as a certain operation or certain precision level. So that time you have to run a lot of iteration. So existing machine learning model 80% there will be accuracy, but you need as a 99%. So whether a person has a cancer or not, okay, precision is required, right? We cannot do it a wrong mistake, okay. So that time a lot of iteration. So that time deep learning model into coming to picture. So in the deep learning there are few libraries are there. Okay, it may be hard in market. ANN, CNN, and RNN is there. So if it is a numerical data, if you want to do as a deep learning, ANN, artificial neural network. If you want to as a computer, okay, as a image related processing, so computer vision is there, right? So CNN, there is a if you have the time series data, if you want to do any large data, you want to do this one. So this that time is a deep learning coming to picture. And overall things we call as a artificial. Artificial is a we can as a superset. So inside artificial, machine learning, deep learning, data science, data engineering, all are involved. Okay, because we are going to create a model, we are going to create a which will learn from data. Okay, suppose you create a model, okay, and it is give a output. Some new data set comes. So your model automatically will learn your based on the data, and automatically it will change and automatically will give the output. Suppose you develop a robot, right, and you have a given certain instruction, and it is moving. Suddenly a new instruction came, okay, but so right till now, okay, whatever instruction we have given, it will run. But if any new things come into picture, so that time also they can handle. That is the reason it may be hard. The Tesla car coming to picture, right? So driverless car. They have a given how thousands of parameters, whether so which scenario it start, which scenario stop, okay. But there may be some new scenario occurred. So that scenario, your predicting machine will learn based on the data. So our AI is a part of superset. Okay, so machine will learn data. Even if you type in your WhatsApp, your mobile, you say, okay, what about the frequency? Because machine is learning what are the word you are frequently typing, and they are calculating inside. Okay, algorithm is there. So now after some time, if you type there's a single keyword, two keyword, automatically full name will come. So it will help to no, don't type all the things. So that way involve artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. Machine learning and deep learning, these are the actually model, final model in the concept. So based on the data, it will predict the future. So to create a model, we have to go the historical data. We need to identify the pattern. You need to identify the similarities, and after that, we have to develop a formula. This formula come into picture, machine learning, deep learning. But to do this one, we need to use so many techniques, okay, to validate the data, clean the data, okay, split the data, visualize the data, okay, whether data is correct or not, data quality check. So these are will come into picture in this so many statistical techniques to reach the conclusion. Okay, how we have a huge amount of data, it will take a lot of time to iteration. So how easily we can do. So this time statistics technique will come. So you whatever the session I am going to give a lecture with the practical to use cases. This will be the common, okay, for all the machine learning model. There may be 80% or 75% are common. 20%, 5% may be changed, okay, model to model, this kind of thing. And now suppose, okay, you want to get a job, right? You need a project. So project, you need a practical experiment. So they can definitely ask you, do you know what is the life cycle of data science? How you develop your project? Okay. So that time you have to know the basic cycle of data science and or machine learning. Here let me explain as a machine learning side. Okay. So first, what we do, I'll after theory I'll go to the practical. Okay. So what we do, we collect the data from multiple sources. Okay, and it is a standardized data. This task is done by the data engineer. So data engineer pull the data from multiple sources. Okay, implement the ETL process and standardize the data, and they whatever the data they call this a curated data, standardized data. This data is ready for your machine.
Abdul Bhai, can you please zoom it little bit? It's difficult to.
Okay, difficult.
Yeah.
Is
Can
it
you zoom
okay now?
that so the life cycles is not visible? Is it clear now, Shoaib and everyone?
Is it okay now?
Yes, clear.
Okay.
Yeah, better now.
So as a high level, what I'm saying, if there is a 100% your if a data science project means first you have to set up a platform, then you need to pull the data from multiple source and you need to standardize the data. This is the data engineering part. And after that, once you have a standardized data, then you need to create a model, you need to deploy. This is a total 100% task. So if I say as a 100% factor, 15 to 20% task is a infrastructure level. And you need to select a platform, okay? You need to order the software. So 15 to 20% is a your platform setup, and 50 to 50, 60% your is a data engineering. It's a large area. Okay, because if your data is not current, your whole thing is current. So once your platform is ready, data engineering, curated data is available. The total it is 70%. Now 30% is related to data science. Okay, so 30% data science will be involved. So if you have 100 job is there, 20 job in a platform side area, 50 or 60 job in a data engineering area, or 30 jobs in a data science area. In that way, you can say it. So here also, so once you have a standardized data, again we need to gather the data, standard data. Then you need to prepare the data. I'll show you. Okay, example one. Data preparation need to be done. Means whatever the data we have, okay, whether it is a correct or not, whether it is a land null value is there or not, whatever the date column, color date with the date or not, age is there. Okay, we need to identify whether age is a within the 1 to as a certain true as a 110. Okay, there should not be 1000. So that kind of data preparation is important. Okay, so data wrangling means if you have a data and certain columns are there, most of the columns are not blank. So do you need to delete this record or you need to this one or you need to give the intermediate? So that will come as a data wrangling, data cleaning, data scrubbing. Okay. So now once this one, there is the analyze the data, you have a data, your correct data set is available. After correct data set, now we have a data. Now we need to create a model, right? So we need to split the data. We need to split the data as a training and test. There is some rules are there. We need to sometimes 50-50, sometimes 40-60. So whatever the train data is available, using this train data, we create a formula. Simple thing as a y is equal to mx plus c, right? If x value changes, y value changes. So based on the train data, we develop the model. Then how will test this one? Okay, model is working or not, formula is correct or not. So that time we have already test data, historical data is there. Okay, so this test data will input one by one, and historical data we have actually result already available. And what is our model is giving and what is the test data is. Okay, we'll match this one. Then we can say, okay, out of 100 input, uh, 90 actually matching actual. Okay, and 10 is, so we can say as a 90% our model is accurate. So there is a train data, then test data. So after that, we need to deploy the data. So this is the common. If any machine learning model gather the data, data preparation, data wrangling, or data cleaning, analyze the data, okay, EDA, enterprise data analytics, okay, train model, test model, and finally deploy the model. So this is same also. If you go as a deep learning, okay, deep learning also same, but deep learning is
Abdul bhai,
yeah.
Abdul bhai, can you just repeat the data preparation, please?
I'll show you. Okay, I'll show you with one example. But
Oh,
right now, at a high level, I'm giving.
okay, okay.
Okay, I'll show you. It's a high level. So when you say the deep learning, you may be hard in market. Okay, there is a deep learning. So what is deep learning? What is machine learning? The confusion is there, right? So deep learning is a nothing. Okay, so on large data, on accurate level, if you want to do, we need to run a lot of iteration, which cannot be done as a human, right? So we have some layers are there. Okay, in the layers. Okay, we have a GPU there. We have a TensorFlow TPU there. So we can run multiple millions, billions of time, which can give them more and more accurate on large data. So that time, but process is almost same. Okay, process is same. So if you know this machine learning, then you can easily understand the deep learning. But there are some libraries are there. Okay, for image data or numerical data, time series data, and some other architecture little bit changes are there, but it will help you. Okay, even data science also. Data science business understanding. First, we have to understand the problem. The same actually. We need to existing data. You have to data mining. Whatever the historical data is there, we need to understand. Okay, what is the data behavior? What is the pattern? Okay, if you want to develop a model for a customer behavior, if you want to develop a model, whom I need to give a loan. So first you have to understand, right? Whatever the loan data means, we have a banking loan data is there. Who pay the loan? Who does not pay the loan? We have already data there, right? Then you can go at the deep level. What are the criteria? What are the people pay the loan? What is their economic condition? So that way you need to do as a dig, okay, data. And after that, okay, you need to data cleaning, data exploration, feature engineering, predictive resolution. So that is the things are there. So any question till now? I'll go on by one. Okay, don't worry with your practical example. Regarding process, any question? ML, DL, AI, DS. Anyone had question?
No, no question.
Don't think as a very theory. It as a practical thing. Whatever the data, na, your task is you have to create a formula. Think in that way. So to create a formula, you have to identify what are the parameters is required. Because there are a table is there, one table has 100 columns. You think, okay, how many minimum column is required? Because if you take a more and more attributes, okay, your formula will be complex. Y is equal to mx plus c. Now we can say y is equal to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3. And x1, x2, x3 is the attribute of the column table. So you have then okay we need to identify what are the required columns are there, okay, and based on we need to uh, create a formula in train model. After that we need to test this one, okay. So we have a real data is there. So suppose some of the people does not pay the loan, okay, real data is there, and in the parameter we mention, okay, some of the criteria we are just inputting based on the existing data, and we are matching what is the real, whether he does not pay the loan, but what about our model. So we come to know as an out of 10, okay, 8 is incorrect in that way. So that is one. And next is a frequently used ML. There are a lot of algorithm is there. Okay, this algorithm already inbuilt. If you are a Python, okay, Python library, these are the model is there. Okay, this algorithm is there, but you have to algorithm used which algorithm you have to use to get your as a prediction. Okay, to get a to get your predict your future, right? So, seven, most of the companies, especially the Google search engine, you can say, yeah, Facebook, Twitter, the Facebook level, they are doing some grouping, right? And they are doing a sentimental analysis. Right? So, most of the cases, the most frequently algorithms are linear regression, logistic regression, LSTM, decision tree, random forest, naive Bayes not in one. K means is there, reinforcement, natural language processing, and the recommendation. There are something missing there. So NLP, if there is any text data is there across the, if you want to do any model, if you want to predict something, okay, based on the uh, certain type, okay, some people are typing in a Facebook or WhatsApp, right? So I want to understand certain behavior. So you need to do analyze that. You need to do as a text data analytics is there, right? So that type NLP is there. Inside NLP, there are a lot of algorithms are there. You can use this one. If you want to do the grouping clustering in the Facebook, you may be hard. Friend requests are coming, right? So they are nothing. They are doing a grouping. In LinkedIn also, they are taking the resume across the world. They are doing the text analytics and they are classifying. They are grouping. Okay, data engineer, civil engineer, yeah, engineer level, literature level, art, science, doctor, all category. After that also they are doing subcategory, the civil electronics. Then as the experience refresher, certain experience, then technology level. So again, they are doing the text analytics and trying to identify grouping, and based on the grouping, they are recommending something. So these are the algorithm, okay, linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, or as a clustering, NLP, are the recommendation. These are most frequently used algorithm. So as a, if you want to start your career data science, first you have to understand. Okay, don't go any deep. Okay, what is the algorithm and which type of data I can do it. Then you will go one by one use cases. I have a one document. Okay, I have a document. That document I'll share to everyone. So I'll show for one or two use cases. I'll show one for logistic regression or one for NLP. Okay, as a high level. Okay, step by step. Then you can explore. You can install this Anaconda in your system, and after that you can whatever the code is there, I can share to you, and you can just execute this one also. You can run this one, and you can see okay how it is happening. Okay, and job scope and required skill mainly for data science. Okay, there are a lot of things are there, but basically right now to start your career to learning and to quick get a job quickly. Anaconda you have to install Jupyter notebook. I'll show mostly they are using Jupyter notebook. PyCharm somebody is there. Okay, and how many? But Jupyter is a commonly used. When I am also using in our current project as a Jupyter. I am not using Anaconda. I am using as a Databricks this one. Coding is a Python level. So Python level basic coding you need to know, as well as there are some libraries there. I'll show you what are the libraries you need to know, and some basic statistics. Okay, basic statistics and that you need to know. Then you can start. Okay, and even okay if you gone through whatever the documents is there, and I'll show you. Even you can develop your own data set if you have a plan. Okay, you know I need to develop with our common problem in our area, medical domain, or also you can do it. Okay, but only you have to know the basic techniques, what are the data, and from that data what kind of things I can predict. That knowledge you have to do. So those who are experienced, it will be better for them. Okay, they can really understand the business context, because one of the failure of data science model is that okay, business model. So data scientist guys who earlier did a PhD start the career, first of all they are not able to know what is happening on large data when problems are coming on data issue. Second one, okay, domain knowledge is important, because if you have a domain knowledge, then you can say okay, this particular area gap is there, and this particular area I can recommend some predictive analytics model which can help the business develop. It is the retail, it may be finance area. So now I'll start my this documentation. So let me. So any question, guys, till now? Anyone any question?
I think so. No?
Abdul bhai, no, I have a question around that. You said we need to have some knowledge on maths and statistics.
What?
I hope you will cover. You said we need to have some knowledge on the maths and statistics of Oregon State.
Yes, yes. So
Yeah.
I have a one document. Okay. I'll share to you. This is a 3 GB. Okay. I'll share from Google Drive. I already, Sajan, I provided some Gmail ID. If anybody, okay, Sajan, I need to take all the Gmail ID so that I can share
Yes,
because 3 point.
we have our Google Drive, correct, for this particular group. I have created that,
Okay.
and whatever the important documents and even in the chats, whatever the we are providing, correct, some information. So those are everything. I'm exporting that in the Google Drive. Even all the documents or videos or whatever we are taking the sessions. So I will share again the Google Drive in the group. I earlier also have provided the Google Drive link. And once you click on that, the access will come to me for request. Means I will provide the access for you. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So this is a complete document for data science. Okay. I told right long time back, I purchased this one from somebody. I'll share to you. So this is a complete document. Okay. In this document, course introduction, environment setup. So if you go environmental setup, they have some video is there, right? You can go. Okay. It will help to how to set up environment. Then Jupyter, the notebook, whatever the notebook we are going to use as Jupyter, right? It will give this one. So what I am saying, inside YouTube sessions are there. It will explain everything, okay? And after that, I told, right? So there are, for a data science project, there are some library or function or method or API, you can say, which are, it's a very mandatory, okay? We need to know this one. So here this material is available. Suppose NumPy, if you want to do as a data analysis, right? If you have somebody give a data, you have to understand the data, right? Okay, how many columns are there? What is the how many records are there? What kind of data we have it? How many? What are the type of? So using NumPy, you can use this one. Okay, so here if you check NumPy, so these are the quick note on array index. Whatever the common things you need, everything is available. Okay, this video it will help. Apart from NumPy, pandas, Python pandas also is the most frequently used. Everywhere you can see Python pandas. Because Python pandas, so many libraries, so many machine learning algorithms already available. So here also you have some overview of Python. So a lot of things are there. Okay, you can go if you have a time this one. Then, so if you have a first is the data analysis. Data analysis is first you have a raw data, you are doing some numerical analysis. Okay. After that, there are some graphical representation because if you have a large data, and if you want to do okay, how many columns is a blank, and if you want to view something, it will be better if you have the visualization. Otherwise, in Excel sheet, you have to filter, you need to grouping this one. So that is not a good idea. So visualization is a part of EDA, enterprise data, extrapolatory data analysis. And I will plot some graph, okay, to understand the data. What are the data we have? Each column, okay, what is the minimum range? What is the how it is distributed? That kind of thing. So for this, okay, first is the data analysis, numerical NumPy and pandas. Second is the matplotlib. You can here also you can give an exercise. Okay, you can exercise some example also there. They will give step by step. There is a matplotlib, Seaborn. These are the very powerful visualization tool which will help to visualize about the data on large data set. Okay, so these are the geographical. These are all are data visualization. And after that is a machine learning portion is there. Inside machine learning, if you see this one, so we have a lot
Abdul
of
bhai,
yeah.
I have a question. Whatever you have mentioned about the Python library, means for data science, we have to learn all those libraries like Seaborn and Matplotlib, Pandas.
No. What is your question?
All,
Once again, please.
means all these, we have to have the knowledge of all these libraries for the data science.
No. You have to use this library. Okay. Suppose if you want to do, I have a one data set. How many records are there, or how many columns are there? Quickly, I need to understand. So that time you need to use the NumPy and PyDas. I'll show you, okay, how it has been used.
Okay.
So you need to, because these are the library. Inside library, so many methods are there. If you think of the data structure is a concept, right? You have a linked list, you have a stack, you have a queue. So many things are there, right? So you no need not, but you have to understand the data structure, the similar kind of thing. For
So
numerical,
Abdul Ghaffur, just
yeah.
in one line, if you can say that these are the libraries And just like in Java API, we have many APIs. We should be knowing these things, and depends upon the requirement, we will be using accordingly.
Yes,
Isn't?
yes. So, okay. So you can think as a J2 Java J2E framework also you can say. Yes. So
sorry
in
to
the
interrupt. I have
framework
a-
they have a lot of components are there, right? So each component, okay. So these are the components, these are the library. It is required. It is mandatory for a data science project. Okay. So
Yeah, I
you,
have a question.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. So there are some visualization tools also like Power BI and all. And my question is that how can we visualize the textual data? Is
No,
there
no,
any
no,
way
no.
to visualize?
That visualization is different. Actually, uh, whatever the visualization, okay, yeah, Power BI, yeah, Tableau, ClickView, CleanSense, okay. So all are visual dashboard, okay, and this is visualization as a data level detail information. That is different.
So I think Power BI is mostly a reporting rather than a visualization.
Okay, as a organization level, they need to understand the forecast. They need to analyze the detail level, right? But here they are the data. Okay, I'll show one example. You can easily understand. Okay, so this visualization. Suppose you have a 1,000,000 one table is there, and tell me how you can say okay how many columns has a null value. So you need to put data in Excel sheet, right? You need to filter this one. How you can see this one in a visualization tool? So visualization tool is a whatever the final thing that we display in a visualization tool. So even machine learning, what are the output that also we can display in a visualization tool. But here it is a totally data analysis. I'll show you. Okay, you can understand. So first is a data analysis. Okay, basic data analysis. For that NumPy and Pandas. Second is the data visualization. If you want to understand data more in the visualized way, so Matplotlib, Seaborn, okay, the Plotkit,
So
geographical
how
plot.
can we use these libraries to visualize the textual data through
Yeah,
Seaborn and
I'll
Matplotlib?
show you. Okay, textual data. I'll show this one. So textual data we cannot do. We what we need to do using a textual data. Okay, we did suppose you want to know the length of each textual data. Suppose you pull the data of Facebook, right? So you have to understand what is the length, average length, or minimum length, or maximum length. Yeah, what is the so that level you want to plot a graph. So that can I'll show you. Okay, don't hurry. This one just as a NumPy pandas. This one she wants there, and after that the next is a this machine learning. And here I have a example linear regression or logistic regression. Okay, so logistic regression. If you want to know what is logistic regression, here some videos are there. Okay, in my the use case I'll show in our Jupyter notebook that one. So here you can understand all your frequently is used data science machine learning algorithm. So it will help to understand what is algorithm, what is the purpose of our algorithm, and how we can use this one. It is as a theoretical purpose. Okay, so you don't need to go YouTube, and if you are not able to understand here, then you can reach out some other site or some other YouTube session. But this will help. What I'm telling you, this will help a complete data science. Okay, knowledge. Okay, how what are the library is required, what are the algorithm is required, how you can use this algorithm to get your machine learning model. Everything has been defined here. Today's session. Make sense, guys? I think not clear, right? I'll show the example, then you can understand. Again, I'll come back to you. So apart from this one, there are some guys. Okay, he want to as a Spark. I already told. I'm last mentioned. Spark is very common nowadays. Okay, so because small data, pandas, okay, or the machine learning algorithm, what they can handle. But if you have a large data, if you want to do a machine learning model on distributed system, that time the in the inside Spark, the Spark MLib is there, the API is there. So under this, they have a lot of machine learning algorithm that can be used. So here also you can learn the Spark also, big data and Spark. This document also available, material available. It will give your overall knowledge. Make sense, guys? Okay. I'll jump this one, this practical session. But as a data science, first you need the environment setup. Okay, where it then you need a data. Okay, then you need a programming language. Okay, now in the programming language, okay, now you need some library for a data analysis, for EDA, for visualization. Okay, and for machine learning model. Okay, after that, once this one, then finally you have to deploy this one in the production. Okay, and production level then whatever the here visualization, it is the data level visualization. Data means whatever the raw data we have, okay, to understand the data better way. Or if you say, okay, suppose I can say, okay, I have 100 columns are there on data set. Okay, now you tell, we need to find out a relation. Okay, what are the minimum attributes are required for my formula, for my model? So that time you need the graphical representation, because that time, okay, it will say, okay, if you run some algorithm here also, some technique, it will say out of 100, 10 pipeline is very high and 90 pipeline is very low. Okay. That way you can say, okay, these are the important, these are the other things not important. So that will help, okay, to fast your machine learning model. So any question, guys? I'll jump the actual implementation. Till now, any more question?
Yeah, no, everything is clear till now.
Okay. You can ask. Okay, feel free. Okay, I'll be happy because maybe. Okay.
Sure.
So next, okay. So shall I start from starting? Let me start. So, so here already I have installed Anaconda. Okay. In Google you can check. Okay, Anaconda. In the document also I mentioned. So here you can go this Anaconda. Let me show here. So Anaconda.
What is Anaconda actually? Because whenever we
Anaconda is a framework. Okay. Anaconda is a framework. In under Anaconda, you have a lot of ID. Suppose Eclipse is a one ID, right? So where you can write your code. Okay, Anaconda is a framework or is a platform where you can develop your data science or machine learning everything. One of the actually. So let me show. So if you see this one, so you have a Jupyter Lab. It's one of the editor where you need to write your code. Sorry, it is a Jupyter Lab. It's a Jupyter notebook. Okay. Similarly, Spider is there, another ID like Eclipse. If you're a Java guy, you can say the Eclipse. Okay. You need to write your code, right? You need to do everything in your code. So normally Jupyter is there, Spider also there. Apart from PyCharm also there. You maybe had R Studio. You apart from R is another language, okay. And if you want to write your code, you need to process this one. You need to create a model, okay. So that you can use as R. So Anaconda is one of the platform, okay, where all we can use any of the ID to develop your data science project. So I am launching Jupyter Notebook. This is Jupyter Notebook. So the moment I am open the Jupyter Notebook, so here you can say I'm some this editor came into picture. So inside actually I have put what I have put in the desktop, okay. Already some codes are available. These are the codes are available, right? You see this one. Machine learning section is there, right? So right now logistic regression. So I put this file, okay. This is available. Whatever I will share inside this, it is available. Okay, so whole folder. This actually this editor is pointing. Actually, this path, the root directory pointing desktop. Inside desktop, my data science is there, right? So there is a. So here you can see there are so many sections. With the machine learning section is there. So in the machine learning section, there is a logistic regression. One algorithm is there. Okay, one algorithm or machine learning model is there. This I am going to show you. Okay, so to develop a algorithm, you need a data, right? So this is the data set. This is the Titanic test data, Titanic train data. Actually, this is the data set. On this data, okay, I will create a model. Okay, this model will be created. So this data is what is the Titanic. You maybe heard the Titanic ship, right? It was sink and so many people have been died. So they are saying, okay, let's create a model based on the existing Titanic data, which can help you to predict when similar event happen. So how many people will die, okay? How many male will die? How many people will die? How many higher class will die? So that kind of prediction they can give. So for that, this is the model. So inside there are three components there. One is a regression with a Python, is a project, and is a regression solution. So right now I am showing this one. Three I will show one by one. This is already develop a model. This is very important. Just try to understand and you can ask me, okay? If you are not able to understand, you can ask. So this is the editor. This is our code, okay? So normally in Java, you need to import the library, right? For J2E. So sometime, okay, you start Eclipse with a minimum library, but later you come to know for JDBC driver or some other things, okay, to other to connect cloud. So all the drivers. So here one is there. So this document, just as an overview, this document already a problem as a model has been developed. Everything is there here. You see at the graph level, right? I mentioned, right? This is the graph. So complete thing is there. Here one option is there as a logistic regression project. Okay. So you can practice this one your end. Okay. Once I'll share this one at home, you can practice the one how you can develop the same model. So here if you see this one, so here you see the get the data. They give us some instruction. That means you have to read a file which name is the advertise the CSV, right? So it's the blank is there. Here you can write your code, and if you execute this one, it will give this output. So in that way, you need to, as a fill in the blank, you need to write. They give an instruction, just you need to, so whatever the instruction you need to do step by step. And there is a one is a solution. So this particular solution means, suppose is a import libraries, right? So here if you see this one, this is the solution, one is the answer. Okay, so you know, import the few libraries. So here this is the code. So how it is going? Three section is there. Each algorithm, I will show one or two algorithm how step by step it has been developed. Later, okay, you can open any of this one, okay. And if you are not able to, this is the solution. You can copy also code and you can put this one and execute this. So that way you will get a real flavor, okay. Because if you read any theoretical anything, you will not able to understand. So here if you run first one example and to start one by one, and after that you can practice yourself. You can develop a machine learning model, okay, which is a logistic regression. Make sense, guys? Tim, any question? Anyone? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes. No, no question.
So
Yeah,
is it
I have
clear,
one
guys?
Clear
question,
till
Abdul
now.
Bhai.
Is it clear?
Abdul Bhai, I have one question.
Yeah.
So, can you go back? And you said there are three models there, right? When you close that,
Huh. Sorry, not okay.
in the Anaconda,
Which one? You are talking that one?
three, yeah, here. See, here one is logistic regression with Python, then logistic regression project solution.
Hmm.
Project solution, we understood. Project is like the fill in the blanks you need to practice.
Hmm.
And the solution is the solution protocol.
Hmm.
What was the first one? Logistic regression with Python? Okay, the first.
Which one? Logistic regression with Python. Oh, this is actually
Yes,
this is
yes.
also same solution. This is also solution, but this is
Okay.
as a blank one, and this is a solution. So here you can practice this one. Okay.
So what is the difference in first and the third?
First and third. Okay. They normally give okay. Maybe this one is with a problem. One with a problem. Here nothing problem is not there. Let me check this one. Python.
Okay.
So here they don't give any what is the problem statement, right? So here if you see this one. Here if you see the logic, actually this is a problem. They give a problem statement.
Yeah, I'm taking a break. We'll come back in 10 minutes.
Okay. So in this project, we'll be working with a fake advertising data. Actually, this is a problem, and this is a solution for this problem. Okay, and this one is a generic for practice purpose. What is the steps are involved? Make sense, right? So
Then
they tell, okay, on titanic
looking at the
data.
Shalpal algorithm, we will take the problem and do this.
Yeah, so here approximately same, we can say this 1 and 3 both are same actually. 1 and 3 same, but here actually this is the problem. You need to practice yourself. Okay, for that the blank area you need to, and this is for cross solution. And
Okay.
here one data set give a how a machine learning model has been developed. Not as any real time problem, something is not there, but
Okay.
here actually real problem and real solution. Okay, so now I told, right, so what they tell, they provided, okay, the data set, Titanic data set. So if you see this one, they provided one Titanic test data, one training data. Okay, so they provided one CSV file. So now you need to import this library: pandas, numpy, matplotlib, seaborn. These are the library import. Okay, you have to do. Why you need? Because if you want to suppose read this one, right, they import as a PD panda, right? So until unless you have a panda, you can read not, you cannot read the file. Okay, so they are simply just reading a CSV using panda. Panda is the library. Okay, they have so many APIs there. One is the reading, one is the writing. So here you are reading the data, and this is the Jupyter notebook. Okay, this is your raw data. Okay, so in data now, if you want to see as a only first few lines, actually header, train dot head, actually train is the data frame actually, and the head. So it will a heading data. So this is your data set. This is the column: passenger ID, survive is there. Okay, passenger ID is I think 0. Survive means as a survive or not, means somebody died or somebody alive. Okay, after the thing Titanic. Class is there. Class means, okay, there may be in a trend class is there, right? AC class, AC2 tier, 3 tier, same also class is there. The name of the passenger, this is their gender, their age. Okay, this one, their ticket actually number, their fare. Okay, if you want to identify, I need to know what is the rich class. Okay, how we can, so you can see, okay, what is the class and what is the fare. Cabin, if you see, none means there's a blank value. Okay, and this is actually a data set. They told this is your data set, whatever the last time title Shuk was saying. This is the data set. Okay, passenger information is there, who survived and who did, their information is there, and the class also, each passenger corresponding class was there, their gender, age, everything is there. You have to develop a model so that if next time any ship has been synced, okay, so they will predict who will die, okay, how many people die. And you can also take, okay, you can also identify why so many lower grade people or young people, but there are so many conclusion making why they died. Okay, low income wage, or what is the sleeper class or general class people died. So here everything you can see is in this model. Okay, so this is your raw data. So now I told, right, why this normally called the EDA is a very important extrapolated data analysis. This important because now I have a data, but I have a billion data, million data is there. And to develop a model, okay, my one of the key thing is that, okay, my data set, I need to check whether it has any blank value, null value. Because if my data set is there, if there is a null value, data is not correct, then if I develop a good model, but it will not give the good output. So how I told, right, 30% is a part of the data science or ML model or AI, right, out of 100. Infrastructure setup, data engineering, data science. So most of the time out of 30, if I say 30% now, in this machine learning model, if I say 100%, most of the time spent, 75% time spent on data, to understand the data, to understand this data record, to understand the data type, to understand the data cleaning, to understand if there is a machine learning model is there, right? Yeah, some statistical techniques are there or mathematical. For that, you need as a numeric value. It should not be as a text value. And now you have a male, female is there in your data set. Then you have to convert male is equal to 1, female is equal to 2, and is a both is equal to 0, that kind. So this task take a lot of time, okay? And until unless this thing is not, okay, your model should not work. So maximum. And and thing is that for a large data, you have to understand. So now tell me, if you see this one, this is only 10 record. So this is, okay, now I have to understand what are the column I have a null value. So normally, if I say you can fill 1 lakh record, you can put the Excel sheet and you can filter this one. But if I have as a 100 column, then you every you need to filter every column. It will take a lot of time, right? So now you have to understand how quickly we can understand what are the column as a null. So they told, okay, we have a one visualization tool is there, okay, for as a missing data. So what is the tool is there? There is a heat map is there. So heat map is this heat map is available where? So heat map is as a Seaborn. This is the SNS Seaborn. Seaborn is a library for graphical. So this is one graphical. Seaborn is there, right? So Seaborn is a graphical. Now what they did, they are simply this data frame, and under this they have put as a heat map, and they are giving as a train. Train is a data set is there. Right? This is the data set you read in the variable. And here is null. They are checking, okay, and they give a color. So if you see this one, they are saying some dot some area. So if you see age, okay, so age they have some dot, and cabin they have a dot. So that indicates, okay, this age and cabin, some of the cell has a missing data is there. Okay, so using visualization, you can quickly understand. Okay, now these are the two column we have a missing data. Now question is that then I need a standardized data, right? Clean data. So can I go with the missing data? But if it is a missing data, incomplete data, your model should not be the correct result. So either you have to delete this one, okay, all the missing data, okay, the corresponding record you have to delete this one, or okay, you need a intermediate value. Okay, now if there is a question, what intermediate value you have to put? Saying there is not exam happen, right? CBSE last 2 years due to COVID. Now we have to give a marks. They told no, you get a marks sheet and give the marks. So what marks you will keep? Okay. So this is very difficult. So that time you have to use some data science technique, mathematical or statistics technique, okay, which will help to give, okay, correct, okay. Now I am thinking, okay, whatever the null value, let me delete this one. So here maybe 50% null value. So if you have a 1 million record, 50% is happened, if deleted, then it is as 5 lakhs. Idea record will reduce, right? So it is not a good practice, okay. If you delete this record, then there are 99% record need to be deleted. Then your data set is not ready. So now question is that we have to give a intermediate value, okay. So that is the part of EDA or data cleansing area. So data cleansing, I need to identify, okay, what is the problem as a null value, okay. And once I have identified null value, okay, whether I need to delete this one and I need to replace this one. Makes sense, guy, what I'm saying this one till now? Missing data. So they told, okay, no, we don't want to deal because age is important. Because when I create a model, okay, next time when if any Titanic happens, age is important because there is a chances if anybody is a young age, okay, their survival is chances more because they can swim this one. But if it is the old age, if it is the kids is there, their chances are less. Okay, because they cannot swim. Okay, so that scenario, okay, now suppose how they predict the future. So if this kind of scenario is happening, so they will design a ship, okay, so that there will be more number of boat will be there, okay, and in the boat they will give a priority. So they will okay, children cannot sink, okay, even 1 minute they can also do. So first we'll try to save the children and what the old age because they cannot swim. But both those who are at the young age they can do. So in that way, so many decisions will be taken. But ultimately we have to develop a model. Okay? So age is a very important. We cannot delete this one, all the record. Make sense, sir, guys? So all is a part of your EDA. So if you are developing any model, linear regression, logistic regression, random forest, classification, clustering, everywhere this will come into picture. Okay. So now, so these are actually this matplotlib come into picture. They have a now if you want to see, okay, I have a 1 million record is there. So how many survive and how many not survive? I need to quickly visualize. Again, in Excel you can filter, but in billion level, so graphically it will say, okay, this amount of log survive, or this amount log as a not survive. 0 1 is there, right? So that will help ideally. Okay, what is first of all, what is the data we have in the data? How many column has a blank value? Second one is a, I need to just understand survive or not survive. Okay, so you can see easily quickly more than uh, this zero rate is more actually. Okay, one is very less as a 60%. So now you again you need to do detail level. Okay, who survive? Okay, so in the survive, I need to know male level, survive level or unsurvive level. I need to go little more detailed analysis. What is the male and what is the female? So if you say this zero area, okay, so zero area, if you see the male actually survive more, female area less, and die. Okay, you can see in that way you can look at the more detailed level. First as a survive, non-survive. Second is if survive and non-survive, then gender level. If you know also then gender after the class level. Okay, then again you have a class level is there, right? In the survive and survive. Say middle, first class, second class, third class. So come to know, okay, higher class is more okay. In that way you can do actually. So what I am saying, using this enterprise data analytics or graphical representation, it will help to understand your existing data as a more, okay, which it will help later to develop the model a better way. So here also they are giving some distribution, okay. So based on this age, okay, they are giving some they survive and not survive. So again, this is part of Seaborn and Matplotlib, okay. So various way we can represent this one. So they have a multiple plot in there. So now now we have some understanding. Okay, these are the column as the data, these are the blank value. Okay, now if it is I need to clean the data. So they decide age column I cannot give as a blank value. I have to put some value. Now there is a one technique is a box plot. So technique you can imagine. Okay, they are in your class or school they are saying okay, exam not happen, but you have to create a mark sheet and you have to give the mark. But you should not. It should be a fair. Okay, if an intelligent guy is a good guy, you have to give a good mark. If he's a not performer, you need to give as a fail or give a middle. So how will decide this one? Any idea, guys? So similarly here also age. Okay, there are so many missing column is there. Now I need to give a intermediate value, but what value I need to give in this table? So here you can say this is so many blank is there, right? So what value I need to put? So any basic idea? Because this is the machine learning, this is the most important thing. Model is very easy, okay, already formula is available, you need to pass the parameter. But before that, you need to standardize your data for your model fit. So what is saying, they have a box plot. I'm giving. So this is the age, and this is the class. Class 1, class 2, class 3. So now they are saying whatever the data set we have a class people is there, we will put class people minimum value, minimum age and maximum age. Because already we have age column is there, right? Second class also minimum, maximum. Third class also similar. So if anyone in the record, he is a class 1, so his value will be the average of minimum or maximum. So it will be as a 37. So here if you see this one, so they put as a class 1 average will be 37. Class 2 average will be, it is average around 30, right? 29. And class C, okay, average is a 24. So that way it will give the exact result. So you can imagine data cleaning is a very huge area. In my data set, due to some reason I am not able to capture the age. Now I need to put, because age is mandatory for. So what age I have to provide? Make sense, guys? Clear? Data cleaning portion?
Yes,
So
yes, sir, it's clear.
clear, right? This is not the super science, right? It's simple. But here actually is that is the reason when you have a data set, you need to quickly go and you need to use a graphical, you need to understand, okay, what are the null column, whether this column is important or not. If not important, delete this one. But if it is important, okay, so may I need to delete all the record and need to give intermediate. So that is the box plot, one of the techniques. Similar, there may be some other techniques are there. So you have to explore this one in the document or whatever the complete document it is available. Okay, so in document they will tell few statistical, because this is the statistical box plot is one of the statistical techniques. It's a part of data science. So now they provided this value actually, the programmatically. Okay, if it is a class 137, so you can see now your age has a complete gone, right? That is not an algorithm. Now Kevin come into picture. So Kevin coming to picture means Kevin side. Okay, again you Kevin side, you are you just okay whether Kevin where this column is required or not for your model. If it's required, then whether I need to delete this one, I need to wait a minute. Again, you need to do the same apply. Okay. So this is the Kevin. So they actually in place. They are I think deleting this one. So now after that, if you see this trained whatever the data set we have, trained data. So we have a age. Okay, there is not a blank value. It's age. Okay. Now there is a one the converting categorical feature, because whatever the machine learning existing library or existing function, so they only understand numeric value. They don't know text value. Now there is a converting category feature, means suppose if the gender is the one column is there, right? Here male, female, male, flip. But when you will put the data in a machine learning model, okay, during training time, you have to put either 0, 1 or 2 format. So that is the reason you need to convert categorical feature. Categorical feature means if you need to define when male is equal to 1, female is equal to 2. So then your new table will form with a 1 and 0, this kind of thing. Okay, and you need to male another column, female another column. So here they are doing this convert. So categorical is another technique. There are so many ways you can do categorical, hotcut encoding, or so many other techniques. But this is one of the techniques. Okay, so to standardize for your machine learning model category under technique, so they actually train info. So this info they actually give whatever the column we have, and with the integer type or float type, that kind of things one. And after that, okay, so they actually converting this one to as a, if you see finally, so male is equal to 1.0. Okay. They converted male, female, gender. Okay. For male they put as a 1. Okay. Similarly for other. For other also they put as a 0. Other. So that means you have to do categorical. You have to convert your text data or string data to as a numerical. So this is another technique. This is very important convert. Okay. So now your data is now as a standardized. That data you can use for your machine learning model. But keep in mind, okay, whatever the data engineering team already provide the data. Okay, from multiple source they pull the data and they put as a whatever the column they need data science they provide it. Now on that again they are doing as a deep level data analysis. For pandas, okay, they are checking how many records are there, how many columns are there, what is the integer type, what is the character type. Now you need to understand, you need to do some basic data analysis. So there should not be any male, female, and as a some other should not be age column. It should be as a 1, 2 as a 110 or 120. There should not be 159. So that kind of lot of time will take, and you have to do using your pandas or numpy. And now if you want to do as a more visualized way, you need to understand data distribution. So that time you need to use as a this model, this graphical. Okay. So once your data is there, now there is a important feature is the training and test. So keep in mind, so before that, what is logistic regression? You need to know. Logistic regression is an algorithm. So based on the input data, it will tell as a true or false, yes or no that way. So a practical example, you go to bank, okay, and bank will sir, can you fill up this form? So this form will use as the API UI. Okay. So in the UI they will put all the your current salary, your liquid salary, any other property, your wife property, your job kind of all the information. And finally they will tell, okay, they'll submit this one. The moment they will submit this one, your model will be called. And this model will tell whether I need to give this person loan or not, yes or no. So logistic regression is a yes or no, true or false. That's all. You apply for credit card, whether so there is definitely there is a credit card model also there. So the credit card model, okay, they will ask certain information. If you provide the information, this information will use as a parameter or attributes or table. Okay, and after that, once they will execute this one, they'll say this yes or no, whether I need to give credit card or not. Okay, and to develop this model, they will go. Now they will go okay, to develop this model. First, they will what they will loan department will pull all the data, last 10 years data they will pull. Okay, I need all the data loan department, and they will tell, can you give the loan department? Then they will okay, they will uh, all the process will do okay. So there may be so many blanks, so many information is not there. Initially they not capture, but they will create a standardized table. Now they tell okay, I need to use this algorithm, this logistic regression, but for that I need a data, right? So for that they will whatever the data set I have, they will split as a two part. One is the training part, one is the test part. So training test means that the whatever the data, suppose they divide as a 50-50. Okay, so they have a 1000 table record is there, they are the 500. So 500 is the training, 500 is the test data. So in the 500 training data, they will create the model. Okay, but once the model is ready, to check the model whether my model or formula is correct or not, how they'll check this one? They have a 500 test data is there, real data is there. Who does okay, so this test data they will check in reality. Okay, suppose this person already paid the loan. Okay, let me put the data of this particular person. So and they will check a model, what is model saying? Okay, model saying is paid, means that means his model is correct. But they will check for 500 record. Now one model he does not pay the money, okay, actual in real test data. But when you will enter test this one with the real data, the person who does not pay the loan, okay, and if he is saying okay, oh he can pay this one, so that means model is not correct. So in that way they will run as a 100. Okay, out of 100 they will say okay, out of 100 80% my model is saying is correct. But to check test this one, because once they will test with the real data, then they can deploy in a production future prediction, right? So that is the reason training and test is a very important. So here, whatever the data set we have, train data. So X train, X test, Y train, Y test. Okay, they split this one, and they have this is the formula. This is actually method function. Inside function, okay, survive. You need to pass this actually attribute. This one train data, and that this is the one coefficient is there, and this is the random. So it will split your data automatically. Now keep in mind, okay, I need to develop a model. I need to develop a model. This model will tell whether a person has a going to affect cancer or not. So keep in mind, okay, cancer is a rare disease, right? And now you have a suppose 1000 record is there, but it is very difficult. Okay, maybe out of 1000 patients, maybe 5 or 6 people may be affected by cancer. So now if you say, okay, no, I have a data set cancer and not cancer, then I'll split in a 50-50. Then what will happen? 50% data came, okay. In the 50% test data, training data, no, but 50% training test data, we don't have any positive cancer case. Now, then if we, then you cannot test whether a person is cancer, okay. In the real data, if you say cancer, it is not available in your data set, but model, then you cannot test this one. So that is the reason there is a balance concept is there in training test. So you cannot split. If you see in your data, 400 positive and 600 negative is there, then you can split this one. Okay, 500. So we can see as a both kind of data for training as well as test. But if you feel okay, one kind of data is rare, okay, then you have to balance. So instead of 50-50 distribution, you need to distribute it in such a way that a training data we have a positive cancer no cancer, and test data cancer no cancer, both data is available. So this is another a big area where a lot of techniques are there. You can apply this one to split the data, training as well as test. So training data for your model preparation and testing data to test your model. So guy, makes sense what I'm saying? This as a training test. Audience? Makes sense, audience?
Yes, Abdul, just go ahead.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So now this is important. So one is a data analysis, then EDA, then third step is there as a training and test. This is common for almost all algorithms common. Okay. Now you have a training data is there, right? 500 training data. Now you are going to apply. Okay. Uh, apply. You are going to use this data to create a formula. So already, if you, there is scikit-learn, sklearn is there, right? This is a library. I can show you. So this is a library where all the machine learning algorithm already available. Seaborn is there. Training test. Okay. So this is the test. So this is actually the logistic regression. Okay. This sklearn is there, right? This is on library. Under this library, linear model. This is logistic regression. Similarly, here this logistic linear regression, classification, clustering, all is available. So here I have this algorithm. Now I have to identify the coefficient and what are the parameter, right? So what they are doing, so they are this logistic regression, they are passing the train data. Okay, I split training as well as test, right? X and Y data they are passing. So once they pass inside this actually algorithm, they will identify certain value. Okay, because they will give a value. Okay, they will give a formula, okay, and coefficient. Y is equal to m1 x1, right, plus c. So it will give c value, m1 value. Okay, this will give. So once you have this, your model is trained. Now there is a predict. Okay, now we are going to predict your model. So in the model, okay, now you are inputting your data. What data? Your test data you are inputting. Okay, you in the test data set. Okay, so you have a 500, it will run. Okay, in while. So this already model, it will help to identify what is the coefficient, other parameter, and once it is there, okay, now it is going to predict this one. So this is actually the formula. Okay, this is the library logistic regression, but how many parameter, what are the things, it will help based on the test data, training data, and test data. Now it is predicting. Now I told, right? So now they took as a 500 actual data and they are testing this model testing. Okay, let's put whatever the parameter we have defined. Okay, okay, and test whether this person in actually in the past history actually he is able to, he already paid the loan, and what about my model, whether my model is saying he paid loan or not. Okay, so we come to know first case is clear. Okay, my model also saying output is giving he paid the loan. Okay. Yes, he said yes. Now I take one data set with a not paid loan. Again, okay, I will put I take corresponding all the parameter in the model. Okay, X test. Okay, again I'll input all the parameter, his amount, his money, his current company, okay, his experience, his age, all the parameter. Then again it will tell, okay, okay, this, okay, he model fail, okay, he cannot pay the loan. So then in that way 500, suppose I have a 100 data set is there, 100 records I can have. From 100, so they have a, actually this is the evaluation is the important, very important. So once your formula is ready based on the training data, so now based on the test data, they get as a output. So you normally you can the manual testing, right? The success failure. So this is the evaluation. So evaluation time, there are a lot of technique is there. Okay, to evaluate whether my model is how much accurate will be. So sometimes it is a, your, if you see this one, 82 is there, right? So average 82.82. So these are the techniques. Precision is there, recall is there, FI1 score is there, support is there. Okay. So this is saying, okay, my model is a 82% correct. Means based on my past data, 82% they say as a correct, give a correct. Similarly, okay, 81%. So now how they're evaluating this one? So they have a one term as a confusion matrix is there. So confusion matrix very interesting, also confusing. So think in that way. So confusion matrix is a true positive, okay, true positive, true negative, false positive, false negative. There are the four parameters there. What is true positive? Okay, so true positive means in real actual data, whatever we have test data, it is saying the person paid loan. And when I run our model with the same data, other attribute, so it is also saying that the person paid the loan. Okay, that means the true and positive. Okay, true negative what means? So means okay in real like, he pay the loan, but my model says okay he cannot. It says a no, means he cannot pay the loan. True negative. Similarly, false positive, false negative means what is the false positive? Model the data set test data set is false, but model says the as a no it is true he can pay the loan. Okay, and false negative model says as a negative false as well as data set so this as a total summary divided by true positive divided by true positive total summary. So they are calculating the ratio. So this is called as the confusion matrix. When you people have a time, okay, you can go. Okay, this is the formula. So in the confusion matrix, they have some technique. Precision is there, recall is there, FY and score. These are the different technique, and they have in the formula slide chain is there. So if you see that, what is the predicted and actual? As a true positive, that's the same thing. Okay. Okay. Actual, okay, no, and predictive, no. Okay. So this is as a true negative actually 50 out of 100. Suppose they have some I don't know how much data cases is there. Actual yes, okay, and predictive 5. This kind of. Then actual no, but actual no, predicted yes. So they have a total. So they finally this is the formula actually true positive, false negative, false negative. They have some formula is there. They are using to calculate this all the different techniques to give the accuracy. Here you can change this. You can change this one. So here let's precision. So here you can see this one. So this is the formula. This is PR, right? Precision is there. So in the PR, okay, confusion matrix, what we are doing? The true positive divided by true positive and false positive. And there is a R is there, recall is there, right? So recall also they are using true positive and false negative. So in that way they have a different techniques are there, but ultimate it is giving this accuracy. So later once this they told okay my model is a 80% correct. Now it need to be productionized, right? So to do a productionized means they are implementing the model. So banking or they have some UI is there, okay, they are giving a form to you. They are saying okay whatever the required because for whether a person can pay loan or not, okay, to understand bank will pull the all the data, but as a data scientist or they will tell okay to predict whether a person can pay a bank loan or not, there is some principal component of technique. Out of 100 columns, we need only 5 or 6 columns, 7 or 8 parameters, which normally tell whether person can pay a loan or not. So you can say one of the first they will ask, okay, what is your current company, the private company, government company, and whether your wife is working or not. What is your liquid money? When do you have any property? Do you have any credit card or not? So they will do all the things kind of things, and you will then. So in that way, they can identify out of 10 parameters. So then 10 parameter form will create it. You fill up this myself, fill up the form, and EY your manager bank printer this one, and on backend model will run, and model will tell okay yes or no. Then bank manager based on the model run output, they will say okay you can pay that. And so so later, okay, once this model is developed, later we come to know, okay, next year after 1 year, again we come to know, okay, this model, there's many people take a loan, okay. They can again they will check whether I need to retrain the model or change the model because whatever the expectation my model may be it may be reduced, okay. Out of 80%, it is even 75%. It may be happen, right? And suddenly this corona came into picture, decision come into picture, that was not included. So they told, okay, no, no, we need to develop a model instead of 5 years. If we get us more and more data, we can develop better. So that the recession as well as this COVID kind of things come into picture. Because initially it was not considered, right? The development model. Suddenly COVID come, everybody lost the job, okay, and nobody paid the payment. So at the same time, bank maybe collapse. So these are the things come into picture. So this I am ending, okay. This is a general process for any machine learning, including deep learning model. So first is a, so if I show you this one, my previous one. So the gather the data preparation. I told right the pandas, okay, or NumPy, you need to basic data analysis. Data wrangling means that the cleaning is there. Analysis you need to graphically represent DA is there. Okay, analyze the data. And after that, train model means you have a training and test data is there. Split this one, train the model. After that, you need to test this model, and after that, okay, you need to deploy the model. So guys, this is one logistic aggregation. So there are similar other is there. I can go quickly another for NLP because normally you maybe have Twitter, Facebook, sentiment analysis is there. Okay, what is about the sentiment? So lot of NLP, natural language processing coming to picture, where we can process the text data and we can find the meaningful information. So here on example. So till now, anybody any question is there? Any question? So how beautiful you can see, right? There are a lot of way you can represent your data. Seaborn is data. Okay. Heatmap is there, right? So variety of way you can identify your data, how data is distributed. Any question, guys? Anyone?
No, it's clear.
Clear, right? So next I have to say, so similar recommendation system also there, right? You may be hard in a retail shop if you purchase earlier something, suddenly you are getting a recommendation. So if you based on your purchase trend, based on purchase behavior, based on purchase timing, okay, this model they are running and they are recommending, sir, if you give this combo offer, okay, it will be because both in that way they are giving a combo so that they come to understand in your family, okay, social life also don't when they develop the model, you are married, unmarried, you have a kids or not, so they can go for offer, okay, if this one you take, we'll give this one. So recommendation another big area. So I am taking about a natural language processing, one simple example. Somebody asked me, right? So where is they use the graphical NLP? So natural language process, the basic mainly used for the sentimental analysis. Okay, so suppose in election time they use, right. So we need to election politician told, okay, I need to know, okay, how many people is against or favor me. Can you tell me? So they will, okay, on Twitter or Facebook or the text data. So they first, okay, will pull the data every user, and they will pull the data, and some techniques are there. So finally, technique means they will pull the data, they split the data, text data, they will convert uppercase or lowercase, they will remove some stop words, okay, unnecessary words they given, and they got a standardized data, okay, word, okay. Now they have some libraries there. They will check this library mapping will be happening. And in this library, if say there's a Mamta Banerjee, okay, frequently, and some the good, okay, they will map this one and they will engram algorithm, they can implement this one. They say there's so many area Mamta Banerjee good keyword is coming in his trade. That means okay, he is the pro Mamta. If somebody is a Narendra Modi, also Narendra Modi good, impressive. Sometimes they have a very bad, okay, politician corrupted. So in that way they can put all the data, text data, they can analyze this one, okay, and they can finally find out the phone number, mobile number, email ID, and they can, these are the people against you, favor you. Particular one tweet, okay, if you somebody suppose Lal Singh Chattare, right, everybody putting tweeting this one into Facebook. So in that way, they are trying to able to understand how many person again for favor. So that time all are involved to natural language process. So natural language process again. So this is project. Okay, so here.
So Abdul bhai, we have one question here from Isfan. That
Yeah.
what percent of accuracy is good in predicting
What
machine
percent?
learning
What percent?
of accuracy?
No, accuracy told, right? So accuracy level, okay, in my cases it was saying as 81%. I mean, out of, well, I have a 100 sample real data is there, record is there, okay, and in the model I'm just running one by one, okay. Again, so that time they are seeing 81% correct, means out of 100, 81% they are predicting correctly. So that is the reason there are some confusion matrix, and that is the very technique is there, right? That it use this one. Make sense? Make sense?
Okay.
Okay. So natural language process, everything are same. Okay, if you see, but there may be small because there are multiple techniques. But basic process, you have a data set is there, right? This is the data set. It has a text data is there. So simply they are first they are reading this one message for line open. Okay. So so this is your message actually. This is the message data. Zero, they have index number, HM, spam. Okay, and this is the corresponding text data is there. So in this text data, they have a pandas is there. So from panda, okay, they are reading the file. First they are reading the file. Once they're reading, they're checking the header, okay. So in this is the level is there and this is the message is there. Now they would like to extrapolate data analysis. It's EDA normally called. So they are counting the how many means how many records are there in our data set and message, okay, message how many record, and because sometimes you have a record but message will be blank, right? So they are checking this one. How many unique is there? What is the top? What is the frequency? How many frequency? Most frequency, that kind of thing. So it is a part of as a EDA, and normally it need to be done through your pandas or NumPy. And they are grouping the data actually. Count, unique record, top, most frequent record. Because in the sometimes they say no, these are the keyword. Suppose if you see in a Google, sometimes they give a search. So these are the most search man, okay, in the world. So they say he's the most search man. So that time they also pull the data out. So unique top. This is actually part of your data analysis. Unique, top, frequency count, and now they are checking the length, okay, in the text. What is the minimum length and what is the maximum length? Okay. So now there is a data visualization. Matplotlib. I told the Matplotlib is there. So and Seaborn is there. So they are plotting. Okay. So what they are plotting the length. So whatever that they come to know. Okay. This is frequency. Okay, and this is the length. 200 character, 400. So majorly the 200 character is most of the thread is the text is the 200 character. Very few is a as a sum. So after that, okay, they have a length. They are also calculating mean. This is the part of the statistic, right? Made, standard deviation, mean. So that time you need to the statistical function you need to use this one. It is available. There's a message length. This time it will give the statistic. And after that, now you need to take okay out of you fix one certain kind of length. If the length is equal to 910, so they are fetching the data actually. So again fetching the data, again the plotting. So the text plot is there, text processing. So after that, some functions are there, okay. And finally, this is very important because you have a text data, right? In the text data, you need to clean this one. So clean way of what? One is the, if there is any exclamation, what is there? Any hash, any other character is there, right? You need to remove. If any I, we, the stop works is what is there, right? You need to remove this one. I, me, myself. So that only in your each and every one data, whatever the text data is there, we have a data which can easily identify the mode sentiment. Okay, now. But I, me, my, this is also they are removing this one. So, and after that, if there is a punctuation, if any has a has, eat, not eat, these are the things they are cleaning this one. Then after that, okay, text, this is the processing. So finally, this kind of word is coming actually. Okay, now they are trying to understand the sentiment. Okay, this word, suppose I told right in a Twitter, okay, some prime minister tweet something for suppose this Lal Singh Chaddha, right, American tweet something. So all the trade data now they are pulling and they are trying to understand what is the sentiment, how much percentage, what is the male, female, young age, okay, religious wise, gender wise, locally, that kind of sentiment. So that time, what we need, we have to understand the location information, text information actually. So whether this text indicate, okay, this is the positive or negative, because in once they have a clean text is there, they have a library is there, okay. So this library, all the positive keyword is there, one library negative keyword is there. Then library data will match with each and every person text data, and it will say, okay, these are the positive word, and they can also declare a security in the algorithm. So whatever the combination word is coming, this combination word saying okay, it is a positive sentiment. So sometimes there are some strong positives, sometimes they have a less strong sentiment. So that time they give us some a coefficient kind of thing. Is a positive strong, the one, if it's a less than, they, if it's a confusion kind of thing, they can have 50-50. So they give a, so this objective is that they will find out all the thread, all the text, clean this one, they will identify the length, okay, and they will find out the exact word, what is required, and they have a library is there, and the library they will match is the one, they will match positive, negative, and they will I so crazy. I told right there's a crazy available, okay, joking, okay. They have a libraries there, impressive, superb, fantastic, great, okay, bad, poor. So many is a negative word. So that they have a dictionary, and finally they will match. So these are the continuing. They have vectorization, some technique, some transparency is there. Okay. Then finally they will mapping this one. Then training the model again. Training the model. They will split to train the model. Already they have a NLP. Okay. Training the model. This is the naive Bayes algorithm is there. Okay. Spambatic model. Under model this one. So expected message. So here actually they have actually they using this one and they are passing the data, and based on the data they are getting some output. It is normally a spam whether you have a some text is a spam or not to indicate this one. So this is also a training the model is there, and finally again they are as the evaluating this. If you see as the evaluation, then false negative, true negative, true positive, false positive. So that way they are calculating, and they are again they based on this value. Okay, here if you see this one, the 98% as they whatever they are predicting and actual, it's a 98% accuracy. If they are the recall 98%, if I score 98% in that way, and now sometimes they say okay no whatever the output is coming, okay, this is not a correct, so we have to change the parameter, we have to change the parameter, again they will go, again they will change, again they will split this one, okay, some different combination, again they will after that again they will run, then again they will get the data. So it will happen as a iteration, and iteration for as a normal ML it will have a iteration, but if it is a deep learning you can run millions on the GPU level, okay, and you can threshold, put a threshold. If my model giving as a 99, then you can give whatever the input parameter. So that way it will predict this one. So this is one NLP, okay. I am not going at the deep level, but what I'm saying the process is same. To collect the data, okay, basic data analysis, then EDA, then you need to do as a data cleaning, okay, after data cleaning you need to do data categorization, after categorization training test plate, then you have a formula is there, in the formula existing function you need to pass the data. So if you are how this function is working, if you want to know you need to go some YouTube site, okay, how logistic regression internally work, okay, that will, but if you pass the data it will give the output. So in this formula it will give the all the coefficient, and based on the coefficient you can write the formula. Now you need to test with the test data, and whatever the outcome is coming, you need to collect this one, and you can put in a confusion matrix. Formula will come, and formula will be the result. And once it is there, to production is this one. Normally they create a UI kind of things. This one. So I don't go. I'll share this one, guys. Okay. So that you just gone through this one. But again, I'm saying, okay, you've gone through. You just give everything. Similarly, clustering also there. So you can go on any of this as a linear regression or logistic regression, and you just do. So once and here you can run. You have a facility to run your. You can run your code, and for that you need no much more infrastructure. Only you have to install the Anaconda. So here Anaconda you have to install this one. I give the path, right? So in the Anaconda, if you see here, you can see some screenshot windows. They have and after that you need to launch the Jupyter notebook. And once Jupyter notebook only you need to do here you need to put, okay, once you install the Anaconda, here there is a path is there, right? So that path you need to put the code. Which code? This is the code. Let me show. So this is Jupyter. Okay. So this actually, if we put this one in the path, then you can run. Okay. So let me show you one example. So I am opening on this one. Just I'll give one example, okay? So all the configuration is there. Only you just run the code, okay? And try to understand the flow, what is happening, what are the steps and involved, what are the algorithm has been used, okay? So if you practice this or whatever the frequent use, then you have a good idea, okay? Now you can take any project and you can do this. So suppose this is the blank, right? So you need to first improve this one. You are running this one, right? How to execute this one? So here is a run, okay? This run is there. So now we need to get the data. So we need to read the file. So this is the advertisement CSV file is there, right? If you go to this path, because they are running something. So here you can put this one. MATLAB is building the front package. Taking time, but here you can run this one. So you can run, okay, if you run this one, it will give this data. In output, it will give. So as a step by step, it will help. This is very good document. It will give as a good understanding on the frequently algorithm and step by step. This is the data set. So once you have an idea, then you can start the project. Okay, you have this, I believe. Okay, once you have done this one, you have very good knowledge on data science. You can implement any of the things. And when we do as an actual data science project, right? So that time it will help. But there are some new techniques, new model, new techniques so that you will learn time to time. But to start your career or to get a job, this is enough. Actually, it will take some time, okay, to run this one. So I think almost right now, what is 2, okay? It took more around 2 hours. So now I'm going to close the session, guys. Okay, and let me know if you have any question. And in the meantime, in the group, you can post this one. And if anybody able to install this one, I'll share this one also. Oh, just okay.
So Abdul Ghafur bhai, you can put this all these documents in our library in our folder, okay, drive folder,
Okay.
and I can share or you can share the drive link so that people will have the access.
Okay. So tell
Yeah.
me one thing.
Or
Okay.
yeah, in the data science you can create one folder, basically with today's date session, so that people will aware that this is related to this sessions, related all the means the documents plus the recording.
Okay. 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 Let me also stop the recording first. Okay.
So meanwhile, any questions, any feedback?